Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Moo Money with you. And we're going to start off by talking with the original granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania 1. Here we go, March 31st, 1985. The opening contest is Tito Santana versus the Executioner. This match gets off to a hot start with the side headlock by the Executioner with the crisscross up-down jump over backdrop spot turned into a drop kick by Tito Santana. Executioner then takes over after being in a headlock and punching at the leg that was injured earlier in the year by Greg Valentine, which is basically what this whole match is centered about. For the Executioner is Santana's leg. Santana then has him in a side headlock as well, where he runs up the ropes and turns the side headlock over, gets a 2.5 count, which Gorilla marks. That's the closest I've ever seen anybody come to getting pinned with a side headlock. And then the Executioner, after the begging spot in the corner and Tito getting a few kicks and few punches in, was always like in control of this match, really, except for a spot where the Executioner was kicking and punching and had Tito down because Tito, after regaining the advantage, went for after the Executioner went to the top rope. They did the old body slam off the top rope. Tito went for a splash. He missed it. The Executioner then did the stomp on the leg off of the bottom rope spot. Tito kicked him over, brought him back in, hit him with Tito's flying forearm, but to send a message to Greg the Hammer Valentine, he drug him out to the middle of the ring, put the figure four on him. Your winner of your opening WrestleMania contest, Tito Santana by submission over the Executioner. Your next match is King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones at WrestleMania 1. And it starts out with Special Delivery Jones was possibly the weirdest way to start a match. He runs and jumps into King Kong Bundy, who gives him a bear hug, drives him into the corner, gives him the avalanche splash with another splash when he hits the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's King Kong Bundy. And Bundy is your winner of this very short second match at WrestleMania. Let's keep it rolling. Your next contest for WrestleMania would be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Maniac Matt Bourne. And of course, in the pre-match interview, Matt Bourne tells Steamboat he's too nice a guy and that he's there to win just like he is, but Matt Bourne will beat him up. Ricky, in response, says he's going to be the most aggressive he's ever been. Again, they do the up-down drop spot, but this time Matt Bourne hangs onto the ropes, at least the first time, and Ricky catches him with a chop on the second one, knocks him down. But one of Ricky's favorite holds in this match was the side headlock, and that was until Matt Bourne reversed one of them with the good old atomic drop. Matt Bourne then takes advantage with knees and punches in the corner. Steamboat then stops him, uh, boots him in the head with his leg, which is weird. Then he gets up on the second rope, hits him with a karate chop, and he then goes back to another side headlock, to which Matt Bourne backs him into the corner, hits him with a couple of knee strikes after the referee tells him to have a clean break, and he doesn't. Hits him with a belly-to-belly suplex. 1, 2, no good. And then he hits him with a regular suplex. 1, 2, no good. And then Steamboat gets control, knocks him down, drops a couple knees on him. Steamboat goes for a cover. 1, 2, no good again. A rake to the eyes. And Bourne takes control. Then he makes a mistake. Steamboat catches him with the double fists off the ropes. It stuns Matt Bourne. Steamboat climbs to the top Flying cross body. One, two, three. Your winner of the match, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. All right, guys, our next match of the evening, probably the slowest match of the evening. It's David San Martino, accompanied by his father, the legendary Bruno San Martino, versus Brutus P. Barber Beefcake before he was the barber. It's Johnny Valiant in his corner. And this is possibly, like I said, the slowest match of the night as there's stall tactics right from the beginning. Then they do the collar elbow tie up, and Brutus wins the first one. They go back to the center after Brutus pushed him into the corner. Then David wins the second collar elbow tie up, pushes Brutus into the corner. Brutus comes charging out, drop toe hold, and then Brutus gets the upper hand with a side headlock. Tries to do it looked like he was trying to do the Razor Ramon spot where he messes with the guy's hair, but David got out of the way. He slides to the outside, does Brutus with Johnny Valiant, gets back in. David takes over with the crisscross drop down spot, and then they're going to do the hip tosses. But amazingly, the heel wins this one, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake with a hip toss, or wins the exchange anyway, and takes over from there with kicks and punches. And then David fires back up, gets the upper hand on Brutus, and does a lot of work on the ankle and foot of Brutus the Barber Beefcake with a spinning toe hold and an ankle grab hold type thing. And then Brutus kicks him off. David then gets a front face lock on Brutus, but then Brutus takes over after hitting David with a back body drop and clubs him with a bunch of forearms with those. I don't know. It looks like a cast that Brutus is wearing, but it's the same thing he wore when he was Beefcake, when he was the barber. And he still had the strut at some point in this match as well, which was nice to see. And then he backs David into the corner, drops an elbow right to the face. And this continues, and then he gets David on his knees. And then they do the punching back and forth spot where David takes over, hits him in the gut, hits him with a knee and an uppercut. And then Brutus is in trouble. He gets suplexed, 1, 2, no good. Headbutt, throws David to the outside. David gets slammed by luscious Johnny Valiant. So here comes Bruno San Martino, and then it turns into a schmoz. The ref throws out the match because Bruno and Johnny are in the ring. Then Brutus attacks Bruno. David comes in. Again, there's a schmoz. They ring the bell, double disqualification. Kind of a disappointing outcome for a WrestleMania match. But so it is. And we continue on WrestleMania 1. It is now time for the first title match in WrestleMania history as the Intercontinental Champion Greg the Hammer Valentine, accompanied by Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, takes on JYD Junkyard Dog. And I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to this match because it's two of my favorite guys. The Hammer from his Rumble appearances, and JYD, just a fun loving guy. Anyway, it starts out with JYD winning with the opening salvo with a arm drag, and then the Hammer using his knees to get the upper hand on JYD. And he gets him to the mat. He goes for the drop the forearm. Nobody there, so Dog does the headbutt spot that he loves to do. And Greg the Hammer Valentine goes to the outside. Again, JYD's in control. He gets the two headbutt spot where he holds Greg the Hammer Valentine up for one. And then Jimmy Hart gets up on the apron. He distracts Junkyard Dog. He goes to get Jimmy. Jimmy looks afraid, and then Greg the Hammer Valentine goes off the ropes, tries to hit JYD from behind, gets Jimmy hard. Then JYD fires up even more as he uses punches to get to Valentine, backs him up into the corner. But then Greg the Hammer Valentine, he uses the eye rake, double legs him from underneath. One, two, three. He beats the JYD, but hold on a minute. Out comes Tito Santana, explaining to the referee that Greg Valentine had his feet on the ropes. So the referee is calling Valentine back into the ring as he's decided to restart the match. Valentine never gets in, so I don't know what the point was to the whole Tito Santana bit. Maybe just to extend the rivalry for a little bit later. And but Valentine gets counted out. JYD wins, can't get the title off a count out or disqualification. And we go to your next matchup. Next, the match for the WWE Tag Team titles with the Rotunda and Wyndham defending with Captain Lou in their corner versus the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov with Classy Freddie Blassie, the Hollywood flat fashion plate in their corner. And Rotunda and Sheik started out. Sheik starts out with a headlock. It leads to the hip toss, drop kick, and the pin one. No. And the Sheik takes over. And then Rotunda gets back the momentum. And then the Sheik hits Volkov, tells him he's sorry, tags him in. And when Rotunda and Wyndham get the advantage, it's rapid tags, flying in and out, hitting axe handles to the back of Volkov. And then Rotunda gets tagged in. The Sheik then hits him with a suplex and an elbow. Rotunda is almost out of it. He's getting 2 counts every time. But the thing is, the Sheik refused to hook the leg. Don't quite understand that. Logic says you hook the leg. So he tags Volkov in, and it's much of the same. There was a running foot stomp by Volkov, and then it turned into a bit of a melee as as Rotunda is able to make the crawling tag. As you know, the heels are barely able to not stop him, as is tradition in wrestling. Wyndham gets fired up with rapid fire punches, and so it turns into a whole schmoz where everything gets confused. And then from the outside, the Sheik takes Classy Freddie Blassie's cane, hits Rotunda with it, knocks him out. Or not Rotunda, hits Wyndham with it, sorry. Knocks him out. One, two, three. Volkov gets the pin. And your new WWE Tag Team Champions are Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. Our next matchup here at WrestleMania 1 is the Body Slam Challenge. And it's Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd. Big John Studd has Bobby the Brain Heenan in his corner. Now, the stipulation is if it goes to the time limit draw, Andre will have to retire. And if he can slam Big John Studd, he gets $15,000. And if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Really helps us grow. And so the match starts, and Andre gets the upper hand early, knocks Studd down so much he's out of the ring. And Studd takes over with knees to the gut of Andre and eye rakes. And then Andre gets a bear hug on Studd. Studd tries the eye rake, still doesn't let go. Studd gets him in a headlock. They trade chops and punches. And then there's a spot where it's real funny because Andre's choking him in the corner and his head's going back and forth. Bobby the Brain, they show him on the side cam just stand beside himself, waiting for this to end. And Gorilla does a great job of putting over the fact that this is career versus money, and even says it's a stupid bet by Andre. But Andre's in control for most of this match. It's just a matter of is he going to be able to slam him. So coming out of the corner, he's got chops and kicks and a headbutt, which staggers Stud. And he comes out of the corner. Andre picks him up. He does slam him. So your winner of the $15,000 Body Slam Challenge is Andre the Giant. And on to the next match we go. Our next contest is for the WWE Women's Championship between Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper in her corner and Fabulous Moolah in the corner of Leilani Kai. This is what they're calling the first of the Rock and Wrestling connection matches. And so they get into the collar and elbow tie up, get their go back and forth into the corner, and then Leilani Kai tries to hammer Wendy Richter, who fires back with a forearm of her own. Wendy Richter's in control. Then Leilani takes over with a boot to the gut. She then gets the upper hand and starts using underhanded tactics. And then Wendy Richter makes a comeback with an elbow to the stomach after being pinned and choked by Leilani Kai. And Leilani's in control for a lot of this match. And then when she isn't, when Richter has her backed up into the corner and she's got the offense going, Fabulous Moolah gets involved. And then here comes not Wendy Richter, Cyndi Lauper to get involved, taking Moolah out of the equation. And then Leilani takes advantage of the distraction, gets back on the offense, thinks she has Wendy Richter softened up enough to go to the top rope, which she does, hits her with the crossbody, but Wendy Richter rolls her through. 1, 2, 3. Wendy Richter is your new WWE Women's Champion. And we're on to the next match. Here we go. It's now time for your main event of the evening. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Orndorff and Piper have Cowboy Bob Orton in their corner, and Mr. T and Hulk Hogan have Superfly Jimmy Snuka in their corner. And the special guest ring announcer was Billy Martin. Your bell guy and timekeeper was Liberace. And your enforcer was Muhammad Ali. Your referee was Pat Patterson. And this starts out in a very amateur style as Piper takes control of T, as T gets to show off his amateur background in the beginning of the match. And then they get a spot where T's in the corner, they're double teaming him. Hogan comes in, it's a four-way melee. Ali comes in to straighten everything out, gets everybody out of the ring. That happens, and then the baby faces take control, which is kind of backwards, but Hogan and T are in control. And then Piper's in trouble. And then from behind, Orndorff knocks Hogan out of the ring. And from there, the heels take over and dominate. And then Hogan gets a burst of wind, hits a big boot, knocking, I believe it was Piper, might have been Orndorff, out of the ring. And then another four-person melee in the ring happens. And then you get the shot of the thumbnail where T has Piper up in the fireman's carry, drops him like Wasteland from Wade Barrett for you newer fans. And so there's another. Then Bob Orton tries to get in the ring. Superfly comes in, hits him with a headbutt. This turns into a six-person melee. Patterson can't control it. They've got Hulk Hogan has it been put into the full Nelson from Mr. Wonderful, and Piper's trying to attack where he's cut off by Mr. T. By this time, Cowboy Bob Orton has gone to the top rope. Orndorff turns around, Cowboy hits Orndorff in the back of the head because Hogan moved out of the way. Hogan then pins Orndorff 1, 2, 3. Your winners of the first ever main event at WrestleMania, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Money Mamba.